Maybe it started when I was just a kid reading Hardy Boys novels. I love all the adventures that Frank and Joe got into. And I'll quickly add that no one can prove that I read even one of my sister's Nancy Drew novels. Maybe it started a little bit later when I was visiting at my grandma's house. I was rummaging around under my uncle's bed when I found his stash of James Bond novels by Ian Fleming. When you're 12 years old, nothing gets better than the adventures of James Bond. Along the way there was Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and his Sherlock Holmes stories, and countless Agatha Christie novels featured a number of incredible and unforgettable characters. I'll have to say that after 30 years, Spencer has still never let me down. He's never let down a damsel in distress either. He's still eating a box of donuts at a time, never put on a pound of weight, and I don't think he's aged even 1 year. I will say that he probably should go ahead and marry Susan after this many years. Martha Grimes' great series featuring Richard Jury and Scott Yard has always been one of my favorites. You know he's always going to catch the bad guy. But I've begun to feel a little bit sad. After about 10 or 15 novels, I'm pretty sure he's never going to find love. He's just too melancholy from a bad past. I do have to admit, I don't like Chief Inspector John Rebus. He's difficult. I hate his self-destructive ways. And I remind myself of this every single time I read one of Ian Rankin's new novels featuring him. When it came to spy novels, I always thought that Jean le Carré's George Smiley novels were the gold standard. He was the opposite of James Bond. He was middle-aged, overweight, and did all of his work from behind a desk. But as much as I like Smiley, I might have liked Lynn Dayton's Bernard Sampson even better. I always thought it was ingenious what Dayton did. But he took the 3 trilogies and picked just one of the books to move from first person to third person so that we could see some different ways that Sampson didn't quite understand himself and all that was happening around him. My favorite spy series now is Daniel Silva's books featuring Gabriel Allon. I always learned something about politics, I always learned something about history, and I always learned something about Renaissance art from this art restorer and assassin. When it comes to my favorite authors and series and characters, I'm really not sure where to begin and where to end. I don't want to leave anybody out. I mean, there's Tony Hillerman and his Jim Chee Navajo detective. How could I forget him? After all, he inspired the way that I wrote Detective Kristen Connor in a very singular way. I'll talk about that in a later video blog. I think that the writing of Cuts Like a Knife is my thank you and my tribute to all the authors and all the characters who brought me so much joy. Well, I'll continue to do this blog each week to promote and introduce Cuts Like a Knife and Detective Kristen Connor. Don't forget, it hits the stores April 3rd, 2012. You can order it now from your favorite retailer and they'll have it waiting for you when it comes out. Thanks for coming by, and I hope you'll stop back again soon.